What's up, my mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video I'm going to be doing an unboxing and first impressions of Hugo Boss Number One. Now this was recommended to me by a viewer of the channel. I think your name is Facile, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, just let me know in the comments below and correct me. I'm just an Aussie after all, and we're not the best at pronouncing names. So I thought, what better time than on the weekend to do an unboxing of what is supposed to be a classic men's scent. And from now on, I'm actually, at the start of these videos, I'm going to be telling you guys what I'm wearing today. And what I'm wearing today is Versace Dylan Blue. Now, my girlfriend got me this for Christmas, and it's just a really great scent for me because it just reminds me of seeing all my family for the first time in a while during the Christmas season of, 2021 going into 2022. And yeah, I've talked about this a little bit on the channel. It sort of smells similar to Dior's Sauvage. However, it's got a subtle smoky facet that, in my opinion, makes it superior to Sauvage and gives it a bit of an edge. And yeah, this just reminds me of that period in my life. Not that long ago, actually. But yeah, it's just a fantastic scent. And I think for the price that you're paying for it, it's better value than Sauvage. And obviously, it's better than Aventus too, because Aventus is going to set you back $400 Australian. And every bloke and his brother is wearing it. So yeah, let's get back to Hugo Boss Number One. Now, this has been taped up. This was the only bottle they had except for the tester. So I'm just going to remove the tape. I'm hoping for a scent similar to Drakkar Noir. I don't know if it's going to be similar to Drakkar Noir. I haven't actually read anything about this fragrance, aside from the fact that I believe it was the first men's Hugo Boss fragrance, and it came out in '84. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments below. Educate me, as I'm always open to learning more. So yeah, opening this up, and what does the bottle look like? Classy. Sort of got pinstripes. Batch number is 0303, I believe. I think this is the new one. They did a reformulation, well, a repackaging of the fragrance. So I believe one of you, I think it was Facile, he said that this bottle and packaging looked like the new packaging. So I'll take him for his word. Out of the atomizer, it does have a vintage men's sort of fragrance profile. And I'll just show you the atomizer. Powerful, decent. Oh yeah, that is vintage. That is very vintage. So immediate comparisons: Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, Quorum, and what else? What's another? A little bit like tobacco, and also, what's that other fragrance? Aramis. So I'm just going to spray it on my skin now. Let some of that alcohol dry off a bit. Oh yeah, this is a grandpa scent through and through. I paid $39 for this, by the way, from Chemist Warehouse. It is a very vintage smelling scent. If you had told me this came out in the 60s, I would have gone, no worries, that absolutely smells like a 1960s scent. It's got all the hallmarks of a classic men's fragrance. There's just so many different notes flooding my senses. I get a little bit of floral, I get a little bit of earthiness, but I also get a surprising honey sweetness. I get rose, geranium. There's a herbaceous quality to it. It's like overload. It's like a note overload. It's aromatic, it's masculine, it's earthy, and it absolutely smells like a vintage men's fragrance. Although the quality on this one smells incredible. Like, you can just tell it's using great chemicals and aroma chemicals to make up the fragrance. It actually smells more expensive than the $39. However, I do think you can get similar fragrances for cheaper prices. For example, you can get the original Paco Rabanne Pour Homme here for about $30 Australian. And I've seen it even less than that on clearance and, you know, on the regular store sales. Yeah, this is vintage through and through. It's got a barbershop vibe as well. Although it's not like super clean and soapy, there's a bit of earthiness here and there's definite depth. I think it's going to be one of those fragrances that I'm going to have to come back to again and again just to learn how it smells on me. I like to wear fragrances after I shower as well because, you know, your skin's nice and warm and it just develops a little differently on warmer skin. So you get a better assessment of what a fragrance is like. I'm a fan of this one because I love vintage men's fragrance DNAs. And this fits that bill to a T perfectly. First impressions so far, I'm going to give a 7.5 out of 10. And this is an Eau de Toilette natural spray. Which makes sense because it doesn't have the density of a Eau de Parfum or a Parfum. I can see older gentlemen and mature men in particular being, you know, very fond of this one. It really reminds me of Aramis. However, I probably don't get that, you know, that touch of masculine leather that you get with Aramis. And Aramis actually is more expensive than this, funnily enough. Like, I struggle to find Aramis here in Australia for like under $40. So it's about similar price or more expensive depending on where you get it. You can probably order it online for cheaper, but yeah. First impressions. There's some florals, earthy, classic masculine DNA with a bit of honey sweetness. I like it. I like it. It's not my favorite fragrance of all time, but I definitely don't regret buying it. And maybe when I'm like 60 years old and I'm a bit of a silver fox with, you know, long, luscious grey locks with a Led Zeppelin shirt or something, I'd be able to pull this one off pretty well. I think anyone can pull off whatever they want to pull off, but I just think this is a very mature scent, and for that reason, it's going to be a little off-putting to fans of fragrances like Dylan Blue, because this smells very modern and it's got some sweetness, whereas these sorts of fragrances don't have that. Anyways, have you ever worn Hugo Boss Number One before? If you have, let me know in the comments below as I want to find out what you think of it. And until my next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, this was Hugo Boss Number One, and I'll catch you guys around.